What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another one. Hope all is well. Three Eye Atlas is this thing is there's a lot of anomalies to this aircraft, Three Eye Atlas. And I want to talk, I want to let you listen to this what this guy has to say, because there is a lot of anomalies here that they can't explain. All right, first of all, what is it? They're not telling us. And okay, since they're not telling us, that's cool. But it's doing a lot of things that normal comets don't do. The tail is frontward facing instead of backwards facing. And it's shooting out like really far ahead of it. It's like it has something shooting in front of it or whatever the case is. Now, apparently, the comet has changed direction now. Okay? It's changed direction and it looks like it's headed to Jupiter. And by the time it gets near Jupiter, it's in a certain zone to where it can orbit Jupiter now. I don't think this is by accident. And somebody took a photo from the telescope. I don't know how true it is. I don't know if I'm going to show it, but it's a spaceship. Because now they're able to like make out the shape of the core now. It's a spaceship for sure. Or whatever it is. I don't know what it is still, but it don't look like no comet. It definitely doesn't look like no piece of rock or whatever the case is. Hold on. Put that back like that. It don't. Sorry. It just doesn't look that way. But we're going to listen to something. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to listen through my phone. You're able to hear it better this way. All right. Let's do it like this. So I can't share it. I don't want to get copywritten. So it's that they be people doing that these days. What's going on from Cali? All right, let's listen to this. I'll stop it and give my commentary as we go.
That's not just rare. That's suspicious.
Hold on.
What if something from another star system just adjusted its course to reach Jupiter? Today, we're diving into the most shocking discovery about the interstellar visitor 3I Atlas that scientists just revealed. We'll explore how this mysterious object defies every law of nature we know, why its trajectory might not be random, and what NASA's Mars missions captured that has everyone questioning everything. Before we continue, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a like on this video. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Right now, as 3I Atlas races through our solar system, scientists have compiled a list of anomalies that shouldn't exist. And when I say anomalies, I'm talking about statistical impossibilities. Let me break this down for you, because what you're about to hear will change how you see this object forever. First, the Jupiter coincidence. NASA's calculations show something absolutely stunning. 3I Atlas is predicted to reach its closest point to Jupiter on March 16th, 2026, at a distance of exactly 53.445 million kilometers.
All right, stop right there. So remember, I'm gonna rewind what he just said. I'm gonna rewind what he just said, and it's interesting.
That shouldn't exist. And when I say anomalies, I'm talking about statistical impossibilities. Let me break this down for you, because what you're about to hear will change how you see this object forever. First, the Jupiter coincidence. NASA's calculations show something absolutely stunning. 3I Atlas is predicted to reach its closest point to Jupiter on March 16th, 2026, at a distance of exactly 53.445 million kilometers. Now, here's where it gets bizarre. Jupiter's Hill radius, the boundary where Jupiter's gravity dominates over the Sun's gravity, is 53.502 million kilometers. These numbers are identical within the margin of error. 1 part in 26,000. That's not just rare, that's suspiciously precise. But wait, there's more. The object displayed non-gravitational acceleration near perihelion. In plain English, it changed its course in a way that gravity alone cannot explain. And this course correction was exactly the amount needed to bring it to Jupiter's Hill radius. If it hadn't made that adjustment, it would have missed this gravitational sweet spot entirely. The Lagrange points L1 and L2 sit right at this Hill radius. Perfect locations for anything that wants to orbit Jupiter with minimal fuel requirements. Almost like it's planning to drop something off. Think about that for a moment. An interstellar object traveling for potentially billions of years, making a tiny course adjustment at just the right time to arrive at exactly the right distance from Jupiter. What are the odds? The statistical probability of this Jupiter encounter alignment is 0.04. That's 4 chances in 100,000. And that's just one anomaly on a growing list. Let's talk about what 3I Atlas did near perihelion when it came closest to the Sun. During July, August, and through November, this object displayed something that has never been seen before: a sunward jet, an anti-tail pointing directly toward the Sun. Out of thousands of known comets, not a single one has shown this behavior as a real physical phenomenon. They all create optical illusions due to viewing angles, but this is different. This is real material shooting toward the Sun. NASA's HiRISE camera on the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter confirmed it. The images show a glowing extension ahead of 3I Atlas along its direction of motion. Some scientists suggest that if this were a technological object, this beam could serve as a shield, protecting against micrometeorites and rocks that would impact at 60 kilometers per second, releasing 1,000 times more energy than conventional explosives. Now, let's examine what NASA's missions at Mars captured. When 3I Atlas passed within 30 million kilometers of Mars, 3 NASA spacecraft turned their instruments toward it. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter's HiRISE camera captured visible light images on October 2nd from just 0.2 astronomical units away. These are
All right, so let me just stop there. I'm going to go to also the angry astronaut. This thing has changed its course. When it reached perihelion, it actually adjusted its course. It's heading to Jupiter. And not only is it heading to Jupiter, it's within the radius to where it can orbit Jupiter and get out of the Sun's gravitational pull. And that's like, that's kind of unheard of from what the research I've done.
Good afternoon, alien enthusiasts, and welcome to another Angry Alien Bulletin. I think I need to make my position clear when it comes to NASA. I mean, after all, I've got a 3D printed gift that was actually given to me by a young fan in Scotland years ago, and somehow, in spite of all of the crazy travel that I've had to take from place to place and rental cars and all of the other circumstances that I've been through, this damn thing has remained intact. It's fantastic, and I'm really grateful to have it. So the reason I feel irritated, of course, with NASA is the fact that they have such narrow-minded views when it comes to potential extraterrestrial visitors or signs of extraterrestrial technology with the various phenomena that we see in the universe around us. They never ever take an open-minded position on these sorts of things. But when it comes to their accomplishments, it's truly astonishing. The things that NASA has done are things that other space agencies and companies have not even come close to accomplishing. SpaceX, for example, has never landed anything on Mars. Indeed, nobody has landed anything on Mars successfully except for China, and that was a pretty recent accomplishment. The Soviets attempted it and failed, and the European Space Agency attempted it and failed, and no other organization has managed to send probes that explored all the way out to the Jovian worlds, to Jupiter and to Saturn, or to the ice giant worlds, Uranus and Neptune, indeed all the way out to Pluto, the New Horizons probe, which uncovered unbelievable truths about this planet that we never suspected. And I continue to call it a planet, by the way. I don't believe in this whole dwarf planet nonsense. Pluto is a planet. It has all of the same characteristics of planets when it comes to moons that happen to orbit it. It also has a very active geological cycle. It's very obvious, something that we never thought was the case. We thought that it was just a dead, icy Kuiper belt sort of image. How could we possibly have learned anything useful from that? Well, interestingly enough, blurry and fuzzy as this photo is, it reveals something about 3I Atlas that simply makes no sense at all, at least not if it's an ordinary natural comet. So this was the first visual indication that something was going on with 3I Atlas that didn't exactly make sense. This was a image captured by the Hubble telescope this summer, and at first it just seems like an ordinary looking comet at a considerable distance from the sun, until you realize that it doesn't have a tail in the conventional sense. Instead, it had an anti-tail, a tail pointed at the sun.
The tail is pointed at the sun. Now, my question is, how is that possible that it's pointing at the sun and it's going super fast? Like it's going, is the tail is pointed in the direction it's going. It's going super fast, right? But the tail, you would think it'll be pushing the debris back, so to have the tail in back of it. It's not doing that. It's shooting something out in front of it. That's what it looks like. Is shooting something out in front of it. Okay? I hate, man, these people always gaslight us, man. And I hate that, man. I hate that. If you throw a baseball, you would think the debris from the baseball will be in back of it. It's just the laws of physics. But it's in front of it? That's not a comet, dog. That's not a comet. Now, whether it's coming to see us, I don't know, because it looked like it's headed towards Jupiter. However, there's another one up there that has an anti-tail. Another comet. There's two of them. And guess what it's doing right now? Okay, look. Earth is, all right, hold on, I need something. Okay, let me just use my phone. Say this is Earth, right? Right here. There's a comet right here. Look, there's a comet right here, and there's a comet right there. And Earth is in the middle now. Did that sound right to you? And either one of the comets have an anti-tail. Both of them. Look, one is on this side of Earth, and the other one is on this side of Earth. And they're flying perfectly together now. In the same line. And Earth is in the middle of it. They need to stop playing with us. They playing in our face right now. Okay? And guess where they're headed? They're headed to Jupiter. That's where it's headed. Or it could be they'll set up shop in Jupiter and then watch us from there if they want to, or whatever the case is. But that is not a comet. Sorry, it's not a comet. Yeah, I can see we could still call it an interstellar object. We could do that, but it's not a comet.
Rather than away from the sun. But after considerable investigation, after we finally got a look at 3I Atlas from a different perspective, that is to say, from a spacecraft orbiting Mars, we're not entirely certain that this is an anti-tail as we might understand it. Instead,
No, you said, so we are caught in the middle of a galactic war if they're flying. No, they showed up together. They showed up in our universe they showed up in our galaxy together. Because I remember when they said, "Oh, look, there go 3i Atlas right there, guys. Hey, look at this." Yeah, but I said, "What's next to it?" I said that when it first came out. I said, "Is something next to it that's equal size? What is that?" Nobody said nothing. Oh, by the way, guys, we have another comment. It's another interstellar object. Oh, we have another interstellar object, and they both have anti-tails. Okay, it's not a problem. Now, my question again is, if somebody can explain this to me. Hold on, I have to illustrate it to you. Say if something is traveling this way, right? Look, say if I'm traveling at you, wouldn't you think the debris is going in back of me? Like, if I'm going this way, wouldn't you think, hold up. If I'm going this, hold on. If I'm going this way, right, wouldn't you think the debris is back here? The debris should be back here, and I'm going this way. The debris is in front of it. It's shooting something out. It's shooting something out of it. And guess what? What it's shooting out is it has not changed its shape. That's a goddamn laser. That's what it looks like. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Luke, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father, Luke. I am your father, Luke. Was that what this is? Like, we on some Star Wars now? Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father, Luke. I am your father, Luke. Okay? That is a ship. Whatever it is, it's a ship. Okay? Whatever is spraying out in front of it, you said the debris is coming from those ships. Yeah, but YouTube, the debris is not changing its shape. What kind of thing they spraying out here if it ain't changing its shape?
About 3i Atlas that simply makes no sense at all, at least not if it's an ordinary natural comet. So this was the first visual indication that something was going on with 3i Atlas that didn't exactly make sense. This was a image captured by the Hubble telescope this summer, and at first it just seems like an ordinary looking comet at a considerable distance from the sun, until you realize that it doesn't have a tail in the conventional sense. Instead, it had an anti-tail, a tail pointed at the sun rather than away from the sun. But after considerable investigation, after we finally got a look at 3i Atlas from a different perspective, that is to say, from a spacecraft orbiting Mars, we're not entirely certain that this is an anti-tail as we might understand it. Instead, what it appears to be is a tail that is advancing in front of 3i Atlas as it flies through the solar system, not necessarily pointing at the sun, but not following the direction of the solar wind either. And how do we know this? Well, because the high-rise image shows a coma, an extended coma, advancing in the direction of the motion of 3i Atlas. It's not pointed at the sun, but it's not pointing away from the sun either. And this makes no sense whatsoever. An anti-tail might at least have some natural explanation if the sun is warming one side of the comet, and then the comet is ejecting material directly towards the sun as it is being warmed. And then a tail pointing away from the sun is obviously debris and dust and gas that's being blown backward by the solar wind. But something moving sideways, something advancing ahead of
I gotta show you this.
Or ahead of 3i Atlas, because we've never seen this before with anything else, doesn't make a bit of sense, because this is a side of the object that isn't being warmed by the sun, nor is it a side of the object that's being affected by the solar wind.
You see that?
Instead, it's an anti-tail.
It's shooting something out in front of it towards the sun. is shooting something out of it towards the sun. How do we know they're not here to clean up? Not clean up, but they're here to do a little spring cleaning. Like, because something put this here perfectly. We didn't do it. Something else put the moon where it was, put the sun where it was, put us where we are, put us here. It didn't put us here. Yes, it did. It put us here. And maybe it's coming back to do some work on Jupiter now. All right, let's get Jupiter, because they probably like, damn, it's been time. Let's go ahead and get this Jupiter thing together. Or do something with that. Whoever these architects of this universe is, that could be them. And it just so happened we have the technology to see it now. Before we had technology to see interstellar objects, they probably already been coming here. For sure. We just didn't see them. Well, whatever this is way advanced. This is defying the laws of gravity and physics. So something is spraying something out as it goes forward. That's what's happening.
Advancing ahead of the object that has nothing to do with either solar warming or the solar wind. How is this possible? Well, it isn't. At least not if 3I Atlas is a comet. And Dr. Loeb pointed this out a few days ago. Quote, "It is easy to explain a plume of gas and dust extended towards the sun as a result of the illumination of pockets of ice by sunlight, or away from the sun as a result of radiation pressure or the solar wind. It is also possible to explain a trailing stream that the object leaves behind as the drag on the solar wind slows it down relative to the object, but it is much more difficult to account for a plume.
Wait till I'm about to see. Wait till you about to see something. These two comets is flying next to each other, right? They're like this, but Earth is in the middle of it, and they're going just like this. They're going just like that, and Earth is right in the middle. It's doing it on purpose. It's doing it on purpose. Yeah, that's true. Let them start at 600 Pennsylvania Avenue if they decide to pull up. I don't think they're pulling up, YouTube Unfolded. I don't think so. They're not studying us. They're doing something else. It's something else. Maybe they had something on their to-do list, on their cosmic to-do list, and they're just doing it. Oh, okay, you guys see us. That's what's up. Or they're getting ready to pull up on us. One or the other. I don't think they're pulling up. It looks like they're headed to Jupiter now.
And it perpendicular to the direction of the sun and ahead of the object. The scale of the extension in the high-rise image is approximately 3,000 kilometers. At the typical thermal speed of volatiles, which sublimate from the surface of a natural comet, it takes only a day to cross that distance. Could this be a technological signature of illuminating or clearing the path from any hazardous micrometeorites that might cause damage to a tech?
That's what they're saying. It's spraying something out in front of it, so maybe it won't hit anything. Because, look, it's in the asteroid belt. I thought it was out of the asteroid belt. It's still in it. They lying to us, dog. They lying to us. They're lying to us. They're lying. Where is this thing at? They're lying to us. I think it made several corrections by now. But it's going through the asteroid belt. It didn't hit anything. It's probably moving stuff out of the way of it. Because it's flying 3,000 kilometers in front of it, the tail. It's stretching out 3,000 kilometers. At the rate of speed it's going, that's just enough right there to move stuff out of the way. I don't think they're going to pull up, though. I think they're going somewhere else. Or whatever this ship is being remotely controlled. That's my other theory. I think it's being remotely controlled.
Technological object. Well, I have another theory on top of that. I have frequently talked about the possibility of 3I Atlas using nanomachines, perhaps to trigger solar flares, although that's a pretty extreme theory. But another possibility is that nanomachines are advancing ahead of 3i Atlas to gather up material for its use. That would also explain why we have this high nickel residue in the coma. It's because 3i Atlas is gathering up all of the metallic fragments that it can, and there's quite a lot of metal actually out in the solar system, especially if you're talking about an enormous antitail that extends for tens of thousands of kilometers, and then it is cannibalizing this material for use inside the vessel itself, perhaps to replace metallic components or to add additional micrometeoroid shielding. And that would explain the nickel output, because that is the byproduct of the production of nickel-based alloys. In other words, metallic fragments are being drawn in by all of these nanomachines, harvested, if you will, and then cannibalized by 3i Atlas, an in situ resource utilization strategy, not too different to the types of strategies we intend to use as we colonize the solar system in order to perhaps repair the vehicle or to produce duplicates of itself, as a Van Neumann probe would. And for those of you who need a quick refresher on what a Van Neumann probe is, it is a theoretical probe or a theoretical vessel that scouts out an entire galaxy by creating duplicates of itself, even at relatively slow speeds. If you had a self-replicating probe that started out going to one solar system, then to 2, 4, 8, 16, and so on, it could explore the entire galaxy, every solar system in the Milky Way, in less than 1 million years, which is a very short amount of time compared to the overall age of our galaxy. Once again, just a theory, but we have no idea how this cloud of material is advancing in front of 3i Atlas when it can't be a tail and it can't be a conventional anti-tail either. Now, the second anomaly is something that Dr. Loeb wrote an article about in Medium yesterday, and this one really, in my view, takes the cake. It is one of the most artificial looking features of 3i Atlas when it comes to its trajectory. I've already talked about.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's lifting the dust from the comet, but the comet is shooting something out in front of it, and the whatever is shooting out is maintaining its shape. It's not fuzzing or anything. It's maintaining its shape. It's very weird. It's an anomalous thing. It's very weird. Wait, hold on. This Firefly? You changed your name? You said, good Lord, the two above are me. Wait a minute. Good Lord, the two above are me, Firefly. Carly and, wait a minute. The bugger, that's you, Firefly? I was wondering about that yesterday because I saw the name. I said, I don't remember giving this person a rent. That's why I ain't say nothing to you. I'm like, I don't know. You said they are saying it's going from about 135 miles per hour to 155,000 miles per hour. So if it's pushing out, is way beyond the physics. Right, it's way beyond the physics known because it's shooting in front of it and it's going very fast. That means it should be blowing back. It should be going back, but it's not doing that. It's beyond physics what this is doing. It's beyond that. This is some type of technology that we don't own. So wait a minute. Yes, it's me, Firefly. That's okay. So that's Firefly, right? So now I got to get used to this name. Bugger, that's Firefly. Okay. Yeah, okay, you changed your name. You was in here the other day and I was looking. I was like, wait a minute, I don't know who this person is. You said, oh, it's the @ symbol above. It's a different name. I don't understand here. Wait a minute. Okay, so you got the wrench. That's Firefly right there. Okay. And they've already let us know that aliens exist. They did. They just declassified the information, and they're slowly prepping us for something. They're slowly prepping us to let us know that they're coming, that we're about to see something eventually, because they already declassified the spaceship that crashed. What's up, Ryan? So, and whatever's up there flying, they ain't got no control over that. That's some, and also Neil deGrasse Tyson, he said that there's roughly about 100 different colonies in just in this galaxy alone. He said they did the mathematics on it, but he said we only see just a little bit of the observable universe, but there's other stuff out there we haven't even watched yet. So there's something out there. He said for sure it is. He said, but he never used to talk like that. That means something has been confirmed. Something has been confirmed. But whatever this thing is, it's way above our knowledge of understanding. Way above it. I would love for them to pull up, especially around the holidays, but that's not happening. I think they have a purpose of going somewhere else, but we just happen to see it. And I bet you they can hear us. That's the funny part. Let's continue.
About the weirdness with 3i Atlas in terms of its adherence to the plane of the ecliptic. That is an unlikely thing and very useful for a probe that wanted to intercept 3 different planets on its way through the solar system, which it is. Again, its timing is amazing, coming very close to planets like Mars, Venus, and especially Jupiter. This is what this next discovery has something to do with, because as unlikely as this trajectory is, and as artificial looking as it appears, this last discovery, when it comes to its trajectory, especially its post-NGA maneuver, this tiny little shift that it made as it reached perihelion with the sun, this tiny little adjustment put it directly on course for an amazingly useful location. Astonishingly unlikely event, millions to one against that this could have happened by chance, and yet it's happening. Let us suppose, hypothetically, that the interstellar object 3i Atlas is a mothership that was designed to seed Jupiter with technological devices. What would be the largest distance from Jupiter that this interstellar gardener should arrive at? For that purpose, 3i Atlas must arrive within Jupiter's radius of gravitational influence, the so-called Hill radius, inside of which Jupiter's gravity overcomes the gravitational tide from the Sun. Interior to that radius, Jupiter's gravity wins over the Sun's gravity and can keep low-speed orbiters bound without the Sun ripping them away. The Lagrange points L1 and L2, also known as solar system parking lots, where Jupiter's gravity and the Sun's gravity cancel one another out.
You hear that? Where Jupiter's gravity and the Sun's gravity cancels one another out. It's called L1 and L2. That 3i Atlas is headed towards it. So it's more than likely it's just gonna orbit Jupiter. And why is it doing it? It has to be doing that for a reason. It has to be. Maybe something is coming to hit Earth and it's here to stop it. That's another theory he said. He said it's here to stop something. Somebody created this Earth and they don't want this Earth to whoever created this Earth and put this thing together and set up the play, they don't want this to be destroyed. They're not going to let it be destroyed. They're not going to let it. And we're not going to do it either. We're here for whatever, I think we're here to experience and stuff like that, but we don't have no control over this. Wait, hold on a second. You just changed your name again. Now it says Firefly now. You said YouTube has changed up display names. I don't like how they do that. Oh, where it says at, like it says at, right? Firefly, did you just change it back? You can change your handle that being used here. I can tell you. Oh, and yeah, you changed it back.
Are located
Wow.
at this hill radius and are ideal locations for technological satellites, since orbital corrections and fuel requirements are minimal there. And as a matter of fact, by interesting coincidence, the Escapade mission that recently launched on Blue Origin's second New Glenn mission is heading towards one of those Lagrange points. The difference is it's a Lagrange point between Earth and the Sun, also known as Lagrange Point 2. Those two probes are going to loiter there for about a year until Mars moves into a better position for intercept, and then those two spacecraft will move to intercept Mars. These Lagrange points are ideal for these kinds of missions, and interestingly enough, 3I Atlas is expected to get to its closest distance from Jupiter on March 16th, 2026. The Jupiter-Sun separation on that date will be 783.8 million kilometers. If you plug in the necessary numbers to determine what the hill radius of Jupiter is going to be on March 16th, 2026, it's 53.502 million kilometers. And interestingly enough, 3I Atlas is going to be passing within 53.445 plus or minus 0.06 million kilometers on that day. We are talking about a distance of tens of thousands of kilometers from the hill radius, a perfect location.
Let me rewind that, man. That's giving me goosebumps.
To just will be 783.8 million.
Let me tell you something. Whoever is flying this thing or whatever, they are on the money. You hear me? They're on the money. We have never seen nothing this sexy. Never. They on the money. These people on the money. You hear me? It's on the money. And they flying by us like, hey, what's up? But not too close for us to go. Because you know how humans are. We'll try to put a probe on it and try to shoot it down or something. Nah, that's not happening. Nope. See you. We headed over here to the other planet. And it will be there in 2026.
Kilometers. If you plug in the necessary numbers to determine what the hill radius of Jupiter is going to be on March 16th, 2026, it's 53.502 million kilometers.
That's perfect.
Interestingly enough, 3I Atlas is going to be passing within 53.445 plus or minus 0.06 million kilometers on that day. We are talking about a distance of tens of thousands of kilometers from the hill radius, a perfect location to distribute probe spacecraft to Jupiter's Lagrange points. What a remarkable coincidence. And it gets spookier.
It gets spookier, God. This ain't no remarkable coincidence. Whoever's flying is meant to do it. We just watching something real sexy. You said mixed race, not surprise. Oh, here we go.
Than that, the measured value of the non-gravitational
Wait.
acceleration that 3I Atlas acquired while it was at perihelion changed the value of this distance by 0.1 million kilometers. In other words, 100,000.
I know, Firefly. That stopped me in my. YouTube. That stopped me in my tracks. Like, what is that supposed to mean? Mixed race, not surprise. Who are you talking about? I know that got me too. I'm like, wait a minute. Like who are you talking about? It's not me.
1,000 kilometers. This magnitude of displacement in the minimum distance of 3I Atlas from Jupiter results.
See, look, the trolls is like not doing nothing to me right now because I got a bunch of shooters up in here, and they see it. It's all blue up in here with moderators. It's real blue up in here right now. That's why they're not bothering me. Because usually when I go live, I don't have you guys in here. But now I do. So now everybody's like, okay, he got a bunch of wrenches up in here today.
The measured non-gravitational acceleration value of 5 times 10 to the negative 7th power astronomical units per day, as was previously reported for 3I Atlas. In other words, the non-gravitational acceleration introduced a small course correction of nearly exactly the magnitude needed to bring the minimum distance of 3I Atlas from Jupiter to the value of Jupiter's Hill radius. 3I Atlas would have missed the edge of the Hill sphere otherwise. This suggests that the level of non-gravitational acceleration was finely tuned to bring 3I Atlas exactly to the radius of Jupiter's gravitational influence. If 3I Atlas is technological in origin, and I can't imagine that it is.
No, you saying just stop the lies. That's not what you said before. You said mixed race, not surprise. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Hold on. We're gonna put you in timeout for 30 minutes. The next time you're done. We're going for 30 minutes.
At this point, it might have fine-tuned its trajectory with the help of thrusters so as to arrive at Jupiter's Hill radius.
This guy I'm listening to, as a matter of fact, let me give y'all the link. He's called The Angry Astronaut. Hold on. Copy link. Just in case you guys want to reference that, because he's good. Go subscribe to him. He's really good. He's not a troll. He really is into this type of stuff. Him and Stephen Burns, I listen to him, Stephen Burns, and the other guy with the telescope. Because the other guy with the telescope was the one that made out the shape. That's getting everybody spooked right now. He literally made out the shape of this thing. It's not a asteroid. It's not a comet. Okay? It has lights on it. Okay? And he made it out. So we're not we're not exposing lies. It's just so happened in our lifetime we happen to be experiencing something. It might not even come here. It's headed somewhere else, actually. In the way, if you look at the trajectory, it's not even headed towards us. It's flying by us within 23 million miles. Right? But there's also another comet that's on the side of it that has Earth in the middle of it. That's not by accident. It's not by accident. I'm sorry. It's not by accident what's happening here. You know what's crazy? I just noticed something. That person that I blocked, been a subscriber for a minute. I mean, I have this on. Do I have this on subscriber mode? Anybody know? Damn, I'm getting old people triggered here. That's why I'm surprised. Do I have this thing on subscriber mode? Oh, I don't have it on subscriber mode. Firefly. Oh, I don't. Okay, cool. I was about to say, because that made me, I don't want to just, Okay, so I have it on all modes. But the only reason why the trolls are not bothering me because I don't have Trump in the title. But I guarantee you guys, if I come back and put Trump in the title, y'all please help me out. Because they coming. The 3i Atlas crowd is not so much. They like this type of stuff. Every time I put Trump in the title, they head out of nowhere. If y'all don't believe me, the next live chat, I'll do it. Guys, they came out of nowhere the last time. It was like a lot of hundreds of them. Yep, as soon as I put Trump in the title. I was gonna do something with Trump with the turkey. He pardoned the turkey. He said, "Look, I'm gonna pardon you. You're pardoned, okay?" And the thing said something to him. It almost like cussed him out or something. And he made fun of it back, and it looked at him and said something else to him. I'm like, oh my God. Even the animals beefing with him. Oh shit. And his wife just like, let's hurry up and get this over with so I can go about my business. So I can go back to New York. Please.
In that case, the multiple jets observed around 3I Atlas in its post-perihelion images
Oh,
might have been used for...
I know what you're saying there, Firefly. I'm looking at your handle. It got at Firefly 15 something, and it got Ryan slash GF 3JF. Y'all didn't put that before, have you? Y'all didn't use those things before. Yeah, change up your screen names. I see that now.
That slight orbital correction in order to reach this point. The optimal time for any such maneuver is close to perihelion, when a spacecraft can take advantage of the gravitational assist from the sun. In addition, 3I Atlas arrived at perihelion while being hidden behind the sun for Earth-based observatories. We therefore do not know whether it just maneuvered slightly to satisfy this difference, or also released technological devices near perihelion that might be heading directly towards us at this very moment. How statistically rare is the coincidence between the values of this hill radius and the overall trajectory of an object passing?
Oh, here's the thing. It could be headed towards us, but we don't know yet. That's the even spookier part. We don't know. We don't know what it's doing. Is it going? I hope it's going to. Is it going to Jupiter or not? Because it's going to come. If it want to, it could come. It could come close to us if it want to. They know we here. They definitely know. If that thing knows we exist, it does. It does. And this one guy said that he believes that it's communicating with us. He believes that it's communicating with us, and it already has talked to us already. But they said it could be headed somewhere else. It might not even be worried about us. But it has made it has oh my God, guys, it got radio signals on it. Did y'all hear about that? It has radio signals coming off of it. But they're not telling us that. They just kind of breezed past it. The news did. Oh my God. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Randomly through the solar system. A margin of 0.06 out of 53.5 million kilometers corresponds to a coincidence of 1 part in 1,000. But given the full diameter of Jupiter's orbit around the sun, this coincidence amounts to 1 part in 26,000. If 3I Atlas were to deposit devices within the Hill sphere of Jupiter on March 16, 2026, these devices would need to fire their engines in order to cancel out the high speed of 3I Atlas relative to Jupiter.
All right.
Which would be
just to let you guys know, the Earth is like right here. 3I Atlas is right here. And the other one is right here. So I think the powers that be are monitoring the situation because they don't know if this thing going to come this way and come on to us. They don't know yet. They're monitoring it though. And I also heard that NASA and something else have put up their defense shields. They put up their defense shield. What does that mean? That's not gonna harm this thing. The thing like laughing at us, like go ahead with your little bitty itty bitty defense shields. It's not gonna work on us. It's not gonna work. And this thing has not been traveling for damn 10,000 years. It has not. That's bullshit. It hasn't been traveling that long. It has some type of technology on it to where it can get to us faster. That's what they used here. Okay? Stop saying that this thing has been traveling since 1976. They're lying. It has not. It has not because they would have saw it already. You mean to tell me they could see galaxies far beyond and they can't pick this thing up? They're lying. They're lying. Okay? They're lying to us. This thing wasn't traveling that long. It maybe hit a wormhole or something. And a lot of people are suspecting that those black holes are actually portals to other universes. And they may have used that to get to us. Because this thing is coming, because you know that black hole that's in the center of the Milky Way, that's where this thing came from. So yeah, it's not traveling for that long. It's just something we don't understand that we didn't learn in the history books.
about 65.9 kilometers per second. Now, I think we can safely assume that if this is an artificial object, whatever technology is
Okay.
required to shift an object that weighs billions of tons, even a few kilometers off its course, if they have the power to do that, they have the power to deploy a smaller spacecraft and reduce its speed by 30, 40, 50, 60 kilometers per second, whatever.
Did y'all hear that? It could deploy another spaceship. Bro, I don't know what this thing is, but only thing I could tell you is it could deploy a spaceship, a smaller one, because the thing is huge. Whatever this thing is huge. They're not telling us. I think they don't want to scare us. I don't think they want to scare us. Okay. I don't think they want to. I don't think they want to scare us. Okay, that ain't working. Hold on, let me see. I don't even know my password. That's crazy. Please check your email. Give me 1 second, guys. Well, let me finish this.
Ever is necessary. Now, of course, Avi Loeb has brought up the possibility that this means the 3i Atlas was never all that interested in us at all, and this could be a terrible blow to our egos. And although I think that might be true, there is another possibility. Years ago, I read a proposal talking about putting a base in the Trojan asteroids. The Trojan asteroids are two grouping of asteroids at Lagrange point 4 and Lagrange point 5, where Jupiter and the sun's gravity cancel one another out. And why would you do that? Well, it's to protect Earth from incoming asteroids and comets. In this location, an optical telescope could, number one, detect comets when they were much further away than an earthbound telescope could spot them, and number two, could also spot near-Earth objects that would ordinarily be lost in the solar glare, at least from our perspective. And on top of that, this base could be equipped with missiles capable of deflecting the trajectory of dangerous asteroids when these are so far away from the sun that their sun-centric speed is very low. This is the perfect opportunity to deflect these objects off their course. Is it possible, then, that 3i Atlas is deploying something to defend us? Might 3i Atlas know something about an incoming threat that we do not? And if 3i Atlas is indeed deploying some sort of asteroid deflection station that could preserve us from a civilization-ending cometary impact in the future, what does that mean about the civilization that created 3i Atlas and sent it on its course here? Does that mean that they mean us no harm? That they want to preserve our civilization for some reason? And if so, why? So, once again, bizarre. Just very bizarre, and something I wish that NASA would address. I mean, at this point, we're really kind of up to 14 anomalies, talking about this strange extended halo, anti-tail, whatever you want to call it, that's actually advancing ahead of the object, regardless of whether it's heading at the sun or not. It just seems to be an anti-tail that's moving ahead of the object to clear things away from it, or to probe ahead of it, or perhaps to exploit the various materials in the solar system that might be ahead of it. Who knows? Again, we've talked about this in the video already, but it isn't something that typical comets do. And then on top of that, we have this incredibly unlikely event, this trajectory that is going to take it to an incredibly useful location where, as we've already talked about, it could drop off probes, it could drop off a space station of some kind. It would be so incredibly useful to place a probe at this location to where it could start maneuvering towards Jupiter or simply stay put there and maintain its position in sort of a monitoring location where it's not going to drift very much. Any locations where you're not going to be pulled out of it by gravity or you don't need a whole lot of adjustments to be made in order to hold your position or in order to change your trajectory, all of these things are precisely what we do every time we are deploying something into interplanetary space that we want to remain there or we want to carry out various objectives. For example, the Escapade mission that was recently launched by Blue Origin. These two probes are on their way to a solar Lagrange point 2, where the Earth and the Sun's gravity cancel one another out. They're going to loiter in this location. It won't require a whole lot of propellant to keep them there because there's no gravity affecting them until Mars moves into an ideal position. What if that's what 3i Atlas has in mind? What if it's dumping off probes or a station of some kind, a monitoring station or something that serves some other purpose in this location where it will loiter until something happens, until it needs to change course? We will see how things develop as time goes on. Of course, the best way to do this is to continue to watch this object very closely as it heads out of the solar system. Every little thing it does, I think, is significant and something that NASA should really keep their eyes peeled for. We'll see if they actually do, but even if they don't, there are certainly lots of amateurs who are watching this object as well, along with a number of observatories who have no connection to NASA, who are providing very useful imagery, very useful data. So we will continue to watch that as well. Thanks very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Let me give you the link again to this channel. The Angry Astronaut. Tell him I sent you. When you comment, tell him Max sent you. Firefly, that was a nice picture you took of the other comet. She took a picture of comet. Let me go back. Give me 1 second. Comet Neowise. She took it in 2020. Yep. And you see Firefly, you see the tail? The tail is in back of it. But a Firefly, imagine the tail in front of it. That's what this Comet 3i Atlas is looking like. The tail is in front of it. And it's, you see how it's maintaining the tail. It's not changing shape. So it's almost like it's like an anti whatever, so nothing would hit it. It's like a deflector or something. He said, to Durr said, I am an amateur. He said, why would they monitor? You said, why would they monitor Max Vault for? Wait a minute. I don't know what you're saying. You said they are monitoring, watching us and watching your channel. That's hilarious if they are. Because ain't nobody really talking about it but a few channels. Yeah, but here's the thing what the guy said. They may not even be worried about us. They just passing through. And that would be a blow to our that'll be a blow to our egos or the power to be egos. Oh, why are they not coming to see us? Because we're not interested. We going over here. We've already been where you at. We going this way now. So that is a blow to the egos because people are studying it, but it ain't caring about us. It don't appear to be. It don't appear that it is. You say you think it's spiritual? That's what somebody else is saying. I have no way of knowing. Maybe it is spiritual. Spiritual. Get ready. But guys, I'm gonna come back. All right, how can we do this? All right, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create a Discord. Hold on. Midjourney. Because I don't have no way of sending you guys my updates when I'm going live. I have a Buff Nations one, but wait a minute, I do have one. Yes, I do have a Discord. Hold on a second. It's the Max V World one. That's my old one. I'm just gonna give you guys this and make sure you guys like sign up just so y'all can get the updates. Invite to server. Firefly, I've already invited you through the Ryan. I invited you in Firefly on the app on Discord already. Yeah, I invited you guys. Antoine, I'm gonna invite you through the Discord. All right, so I invited you guys to the Discord, and everybody else, I'm just gonna copy the link. There you go. That's my Discord. So sign up there. You can talk to each other on there if you want. Okay, Ryan. I see Ryan and Firefly. Okay, I see y'all. All right, what I'm gonna do is get some other people in here. Ryan and Firefly. I see y'all in there now. When I'm telling you, I'm gonna put what's his name in the title, and y'all gonna have some fun. It's gonna be hilarious. But I'm gonna have to sign off of here and make a few calls, and I'm gonna go out in the car and do it. I'm gonna go in the car and vlog. That's where I like to vlog at. So I'm gonna do that. All right, guys, that's my Discord. Sign up to the Discord, and I will be back shortly. All right, y'all. We'll have a little fun a little later.